Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Bentley Leonard.
And I'm Madeline Farber. It's homecoming week here at KU, and there's a lot of exciting things going on around campus. So Bentley, I was walking on Wesco Beach yesterday, and I saw that there was a lot of chalk art going, or a lot of students were participating in the chalk art. Can you tell me what that was about?
Yes, multiple student life and Greek life organizations have competed throughout the week through multiple challenges in hopes to become homecoming's champs.
Oh, okay. So if students win the competitions at the end of the week, what does that mean for them?
They will get their name on a board out on the 4th floor Union, and their names will be announced at the game against Texas on Saturday.
Okay. So I know that there's a lot of family and things going on, or family events going on this weekend too. There's a lot of tailgates and things like that. Does your family do a tailgate, or?
Yeah, my family, I've had lots of family come through here, so they always come back for the games and stuff, which is exciting because I live in St. Louis, so.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What generation are you? Like a generation?
I'm the 3rd generation.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, but it's fun because when they were here, they got to participate this week.
Wait, what's the theme for homecoming this year?
It's Roll with the Hawks. Yes. So it's kind of like a bunch of different board games, and then each thing is kind of to be, I guess, more so along the lines of different games. Well,
okay, so I guess that would explain the Monopoly themed chalk art that I saw.
Right.
That's really cool.
And then on Monday there were signs out on Watson's lawn, and
I saw those in front of the library.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and those were judged, and so each team tries to get as many points as they can by getting 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place, and becoming on top towards the end of the week.
Okay, gotcha. And I know that there's also a lot of clothing donations, donation-related drives that go on during the week. So with homecoming week in full swing, the Alumni Center is hosting a clothing drive. Students are encouraged to drop off used and unwanted clothing to the Alumni Center all week long in hopes to help the United Cross Borders organization. Various student groups such as Greek chapters and scholarship halls are participating in the event not only to raise tangible items for charity but also to earn points for their organization. Organizers say all proceeds will benefit overseas.
The donations go to Bangladesh, which is where their organization is supposed to benefit the most. It's an area where they might not have access to as much clothing or clean clothing as we do here, so that's kind of the area that they've chosen to help out, so all of the donations will proceed Bangladesh.
So now that we've had a clothing drive and multiple competitions, there's still more to come throughout the week. Like tonight at 6 o'clock over in the Alumni Center, there are Jayhawk Jingles.
Oh, okay. So can you explain that further? Do you know what that's about?
Yes, multiple organizations have teamed up again together, and there'll be at least 4 girls and 4 guys, and they kind of have a little dance, they have their own song that they made up, and then it's kind of to incorporate the theme, but also kind of throw in some Jayhawk jokes and all that stuff, and there'll be food vendors there. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in a chapter here, and I heard them participating or practicing for those Jayhawk jingles the other night, so that was really exciting.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about the rundown for the homecoming weekend?
Yeah, Friday there is a parade at 6 o'clock on Mass. Rob Riggle, the guy who's in The Hangover, will be leading it. After the parade at 6:45, there will be a pep rally where the KU Spirit Squad and the band will be there to get everyone's hype and everything to go for Saturday. The game on Saturday will kick up at 3. Homecoming awards will be at halftime.
That's awesome. I know that there's an Excel award that's presented during homecoming. I'm not sure, I actually am not quite positive what that award is, but I know it's pretty prestigious here at the university, and there's been I've known a couple of people that have been nominated for it. I think it has to do with leadership or something like that, if I remember correctly.
I haven't really heard about that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, so that person, the Excel winner, should be announced at the homecoming game this Saturday.
I'm excited going into the game, 2-1, maybe you will kick it off. It's 3-1 this year, so.
Still to come on Good Evening KU, we'll have an interview with Jeff Arnaudo, a student at KU who started a water polo team on campus. Stay with us. Welcome back. With us right now is Jeff Arnaudo. So you started a water polo club or organization on campus. Can you tell me more about that and where that idea came from?
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of a student organization-based sport. We can't technically be a club sport yet, but we're more of like just a group of people who are wanting to play the sport and spread the sport around the Midwest. So it started about last April. We talked with a couple other people from California, which is where I'm from, from Chicago, some people from down south, and we started putting it together and making meetings and flyers and Facebook pages and just trying to gain interest. And from there, we've talked to a bunch of pools. We were in talks with Robinson Center. We were in talks with Haskell Indian Nations University, the Indoor Aquatic Center here in Lawrence.
Okay.
And finally got some pool time here in Robinson. So bright and early on Tuesdays, we're in the pool and we're playing water polo.
Wow. So what was the inspiration for this? Did you participate in this in high school or?
Yeah. So in Northern California, it's a really big sport. So I played all 4 years of high school, and my sister played, and now she coaches at our high school. So it's kind of a family thing, a tradition, and now it's something that's really grown on my family.
So for those people who might not really know what water polo is, can you kind of explain some of the dynamics that go behind the game?
Yeah, so contrary to popular belief, we're not actually on horses in the water. We're actually just swimming around. We've got like a yellow ball that looks like volleyball, and we're shooting on goals. It's kind of like basketball in the water almost, with goals instead of baskets is the best way to describe it, I'd say.
Okay, so is there some sort of scoring system, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it's just basic goals. So every time you score, it's 1 point, and then you set it back up in the middle and go from there, and usually the last score is in the 5s or 6s, 5-5, 6-5, something like that.
Okay, so what's been your favorite thing about participating in water polo or competing in it?
It's always the people, and I think that's kind of the same with anything you do, but here especially making this team happen is you see, all these amazing qualities of the people you're working with, and putting something together like water polo is difficult in a place where it's not a very popular sport. Yet these people who have never have even played before are so gung-ho about it and on board with me and the other people we're working with.
Oh, so there's some people on there that have never played this before and they just wanted to join the team?
Yeah, so we're all skill levels. It's co-ed, so anyone really, as long as you're a KU student, can come out and play and practice with us. And we haven't even really set up a game yet, so we're not worried about being too competitive. It's more about just learning the sport and having a good time.
So are you guys planning on competing with other against other teams, or what's the deal?
Yeah, right now we had to create a league through USA Water Polo, which is a national organization, and that program partners with Kansas City Water Polo Club team as well. So we might travel over there, or just other K-State as a team as well, Missouri as a team.
Oh, that would be some competition.
Yeah, so we get to travel around a little bit. Hopefully, maybe end of next semester or next year.
Okay, that's awesome. So if students want to get involved with this, how do you recommend that they do that?
You can email me, which is kansaswaterpolo@gmail.com.
Okay.
And we got flyers around campus, so look out for that. Or just look for Jayhawk Water Polo on Facebook. And it's the best way to get in touch with me or the other people in the organization.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Next, we'll be back with the weather. Next, we'll be back with the weather. Plus, a NASCAR driver, Tony Stewart, faced charges for a fatal on-track accident in New York last month. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm David Dickey.
And I'm Sky Conley. This is your Good Evening KU News Update. President Obama addressed the United Nations today regarding the airstrike in Syria and Iraq. The United States launched fresh strikes against ISIS late Monday night. The president hoped to encourage fellow UN leaders to join the United States' effort. The president also addressed the Ebola outbreak in Liberia and the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
A 4-year-old boy in Kansas City, Kansas managed to bring a pipe bomb home from school yesterday. The child reportedly found the device outside his bus stop and succeeded in kicking it down the street to his house before his grandfather phoned police. The bomb squad disposed of the pipe bomb with no reported injuries, and police are investigating why such a device was in the neighborhood.
Kansas's Governor Brownback is preparing to declare October Zombie Awareness Month. The idea behind this initiative stems from a need for citizens to be prepared for any kind of emergency situation. The governor is scheduled to sign the official documentation on Friday at the State House in Topeka.
Topeka police detained a naked, blood-covered man Wednesday after neighbors reported that he had been running around outside screaming. They found the woman with him lying dead on their home. Police did not release the names of the man or the woman, but said her death is being investigated as a homicide. A young girl was found uninjured at the home and was placed in protective custody. According to Police Lieutenant Chuck Haggard, it took several hours to subdue the man, and they eventually had to use a stun gun on him. The man was taken to a hospital for medical treatment, the Topeka Capital-Journal reported. The woman was found dead at the top of a wooden wheelchair ramp that leads to the home where she and the man lived. According to neighbors, blood could be seen smeared across a large area of the southwest portion of the house, and officers were keeping people well away from what they described as a very graphic scene. Police said the naked man assaulted an older neighbor who apparently had come outside to check on the commotion, but he was not seriously hurt.
NASCAR driver Tony Stewart will not face charges after his car hit and killed another driver at a race in New York last month. Prosecutors strike driver Kevin Ward Jr. Prosecutors also say that Ward Jr. was under the influence of marijuana the night of the accident. Stewart spent 3 weeks away from racing before returning to the Sprint Cup circuit in late August.
And now for a weather update, let's send it up to Megan Tiger. Is there any chance of rain coming up, Megan, or how are we looking there?
Chance of rain tomorrow mid-afternoon, but past that will be clear.
And how's the weekend looking for the homecoming, all the homecoming events going on? Is the weekend weather looking pretty good?
The weekend's going to be amazing. 83 of a high and sunny all weekend. Should be beautiful for the homecoming kickoff.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. That's all for now. Tune in tomorrow morning at 10 for Good Morning KU.